Alrighty then. Successful Indie Author 5 Minute Focus episode 1229. Something to think about. An exit strategy. If you're already writing, well, when will you stop? When do you need to slow down? And if you're not writing and you want to use writing as your exit strategy from your day job, what do you do? Well, those are some pretty big questions. So, how do you plan to retire? Because at some point in time, you got to retire. You can't work it right up until the day you die. Even though you're writing, still, do you want it to be work? Do you want to have to do it? That's the hard question. And that answer is almost inevitably no, I don't want to have to write. I want my backlist just to make money. I want to live. I want to go enjoy things. And then I'll write, but I'll write a lot less than I do now. Okay. Well, you know what? You need money. And how do you do that? How do you plan for your retirement? Well, you've got to invest. You've got to have a retirement plan. You have to have a recurring income in a way that works, in a way that doesn't require you to keep working at it. Because if your retirement is, well, I'll just publish 4 books a year, okay, that's still a pretty hefty burden on somebody, especially as you slow down, as you type slower, as you narrate slower, as you think slower. And that's so you got to think about your exit strategy. Yes, I'm talking to probably some young people out there who are like, holy cow, I got 50 years of writing left. Well, good for you. Good for you. Make the most of the time. But think about putting some money away, especially as you're young. You have the benefit of time on your side. So dollar cost averaging, if you invest $25 a month is all, but you do it over 40 years, that comes out to a hell of a lot of money over time. And that's how I did well. I started investing in my 20s and made some lucky investments as well. Well, I made some bad ones too. So I guess luck it's a relative element. And that has paid off extremely well here later in life, now that I'm in my 60s. So think about that exit strategy. What can you do as an independent author to set yourself up for a retirement? You can, if you're in the US, you can do a solo 401k, you can do a SEP-IRA, you can do a traditional IRA, Roth IRA, depending on how much you make. So those kinds of retirement plans, you can put into them, dollar cost averaging. Just commit either a percentage or a set amount each month. And the earlier you can start, the better off you will be. Don't wait until you're in your 50s. Hey, I'm just going to spend what I make, pay my taxes, do my thing. And then I'll start putting into retirement, because then you're setting yourself up to have to work up until the day you die. And we don't want that. And if you have a day job and writing is your exit strategy, then now is the time to invest in the writing. You're not investing the money into the business. You're not investing the money into yourself. You're investing your time into building a backlog, a backlist, into building an understanding of how the writing and publishing community works, how you can set yourself up for success as an author after you've retired from the day job. And that's what I did. I retired the second time, and that's when I started writing, and it took off. I didn't have a lot of the pressures that people who are writing will have, who are writing when they're younger and writing full time, because they have to make the money. I was never under that kind of pressure. And I had some books that didn't do well, but overall it did pretty well. My 13th book, though, it took 13 books before I started making good money at this thing. And then been fine since then. However, I've always kept my foot on the gas. That's 10 years plus of my foot on the gas as an old retired guy. Time is money, but money can buy time. And that's, as an author, you can hire an assistant. You can hire people, outsource things to people to do, so you can maximize your time. So you're paying, but if you're paying somebody else, then you're not paying yourself, in that you don't get a dividend later, except in the time now. What are you doing with that time now? If you're outsourcing stuff and not benefiting from it in a way that earns you money later, like, okay, outsource this stuff, but I'm using that time to write, I'll add an additional book a year, 2 books a year, whatever it might be, because of the time you've bought yourself. Well, then that's a proven and fixed asset, as opposed to I'm outsourcing this work and then just goofing off. Well, are you goofing off or are you helping your mental state? Only you know the answer to that. A lot of people will say, "Oh, it's for my mental state," and they're just goofing off. Well, come on, give yourself a little credit. Work hard when it's called for working hard, and then earn that time, earn that money that can then buy you time. Put that time to good use for you and your family. Exit strategy. That's what this is all about. It's how are you setting yourself up for the future so you can do what you want while still doing what you need to do, take care of yourself, your family, and have plenty of money to do it. So think about an exit strategy. There are different ways to invest, and a little bit every month, starting when you're young, goes a long, long way. Peace, fellow humans.